Hey everyone, I'm Laura Gadenig. I'm a therapist and an astrologer, and I'm here to give you the astrology for the weeks of May 13th through the 26th, 2024. Apologize for being late. There's been a lot of unexpected things going on yesterday in particular, which makes total sense astrologically, given that on Monday the 13th, yesterday, we had a Sun-Uranus conjunction. Uranus is a planet that throws us unexpected surprises, chaos, 180 turn of events, and so maybe you also noticed this, yesterday being a day where things maybe didn't quite go as you planned, or maybe you were thrown for a loop or something surprising came into the mix. So it's definitely possible. Also, Uranus is a planet that wants us to innovate, renovate, and step outside of the box. And so you might have also noticed yesterday wanting to do something different, go about your day differently, or express yourself differently in a way that feels more authentic to you. The sun represents us, our conscious awareness, who we are. And when it comes into contact with Uranus, a planet about authenticity, originality, change, innovation, it's like, okay, what are the ways that you aren't being you? What are the ways that you are maybe hiding parts of yourself, and how can we make that more visible so that you can shine brighter? So that's definitely, part of this Sun-Uranus conjunction archetype, and you will probably continue to notice this for a couple of days, and you might have even noticed it, over the course of the last couple of days, like since Friday, I believe Friday the 9th or 10th. Also, you might have noticed having some insights or aha moments. Uranus is our genius, it's creativity, and so there might have also been something coming to you, like a realization or something like that. So pretty nice aspect actually, given that the sun is going to make a conjunction with Jupiter in a couple days on Saturday the 18th. I'll get to there in a moment though. Also on Monday, the 13th, Venus, goddess of love, beauty, sensuality, pleasure, made a sextile to Saturn, a planet about commitment and stability and endurance. And so, you might not have even noticed it, but this aspect brings a sense of stability and endurance in relationships, and maybe even in our values and what we're deeply committed to. Okay, Wednesday the 15th, so this is tomorrow because I'm recording this on Tuesday the 14th, Mercury heads into Taurus. Mercury's been in Aries for freaking ever because Mercury retrograded in Aries. So this feels like a nice change of pace. When Mercury enters Taurus, we're gonna now have 4 planets in Taurus. So we have the Sun in Taurus, we have Jupiter in Taurus, Uranus in Taurus, Venus in Taurus, 5, and then Mercury in Taurus. So 5 planets will be in Taurus once Mercury heads into Taurus. So the part of your chart that contains Taurus, whatever house that is like lit up. There is so much going on in this part of the chart. And so for you, there's gonna be like a heavy emphasis for everyone in the parts of your charts that contain Taurus. And that's gonna be different depending on like what your rising sign is. So I'm a Gemini rising, so Taurus is my 12th house because Taurus comes before Gemini, and so 12th house themes are being emphasized for me. If you're unfamiliar with the houses, I do have a free PDF on my website, lauragadenig.com, I think /freebies, and that gives a description of the houses, and then you can find out what your rising sign is based on, like, you can just Google search rising sign or birth chart and input your information. So anyway, Mercury heads into Taurus. So once again, this house for you, ultra focused. Mercury is in Taurus until June 3rd. So we have some time with Mercury here. In our minds, Mercury is the planet of the mind, will be turning towards Taurian themes. Taurian themes are money, stability, security, land, earth, agriculture, gardening, the body, sensuality, experiencing pleasure through our senses being more awake and alive, awake to what's happening in the world and being able to take in and hopefully enjoy. Taurus is a sign that definitely enjoys the finer things in life, and the things that are of high quality. Taurus is all about quality, not quantity. And Taurus is all about moving slow and steady. So you might have also like been noticing that already, that there's maybe been a desire to slow down and take in the scent of the roses around you. So as soon as Mercury heads into Taurus, Mercury makes a square pretty immediately to the planet Pluto, a planet of subterranean depths, a planet of what's beneath the surface. Mercury is the mind, how we communicate, conversations we're having, messages. And so with this aspect, you might be having conversations that bring something deeper up, something deeper that's been hiding, something that's been beneath the surface, and maybe something that needs to be said. Oftentimes when Mercury comes into contact with Pluto, we need to have a conversation with someone. We need to have an honest conversation with someone, or express feelings or thoughts. And maybe even like speak the truth, speaking your truth, whatever that is for you, hopefully in a kind way, always kind. But Mercury, once again, planet of the mind, when it comes to contact with Pluto, a planet that wants to dig and get to the root of something, it's really a great time for self-reflection and writing. So I highly encourage, even if you're not a writer, just spending 5 to 10 minutes on this day, just writing. It's I like to do a practice called automatic writing, where it's just kind of like a writing stream of consciousness. You're not trying to make it pretty. You're not trying to formulate anything in particular. You're just like, brain to page, like immediately, even if it's like doesn't make any sense. And you might see that something really valuable comes out of that, something that you didn't even know was buried inside of you. So that's one of my favorite practices. Pluto could also be a bit obsessive and really likes to hone in on something. And there's nothing wrong with being obsessive. In fact, being obsessive suggests that we are deeply moved by something, deeply interested in something, and that's really beautiful, I think. I think the only time being obsessive can be harmful or maybe experienced as more negative is when we can't focus on anything else. So just take note that on this day you might be hyper focused on something or someone or a situation. And maybe the writing practice can help flush out why you're focusing so much on that. Sometimes when we're hyper focused on something, it's because our brain is trying to work something out. We're trying to figure out a puzzle. We're trying to figure out why did that happen? What was I thinking? Why did I do that? You're trying to solve a problem. And so, writing or talking to someone could help you kind of get to the root of what was really going on. I would be mindful also with Mercury square Pluto of power struggles, of trying to convince someone of your viewpoint, and kind of asking yourself, why am I doing that? What need do I have that's not being met? Why is what I'm saying so important? So just a good day for self-reflection. Okay, Saturday the 18th, this is a big day. This is a really big day astrologically. We have Venus making a conjunction with Uranus and the Sun making a conjunction with Jupiter. So Venus, goddess of love, pleasure, beauty, relationships, joy, how we have fun, comes together with Uranus, once again a planet about changes, 180 turns, revelation, revolution, authenticity. Uranus seeks spontaneity and new things. And so with this combination, there might be some radical changes in relationships. You might notice a shift in values potentially, or I would say more realistically, understanding what your true values really are and making a shift to attune your life or the way that you're doing things to reflect your authentic values. Venus is also our values, and Uranus is authenticity too. So yeah, it's a really great day to kind of reflect on what is important to me, what are my values, and am I living in a way that is reflecting that? What can I do to change that? Venus is also things like beauty, art, style, clothing, how one expresses oneself and their body. So there might be a desire to like make a drastic change to your style or how you express yourself. Maybe you like get a crazy haircut or get a tattoo or a piercing or whatever, but there might be a desire to change your style. And I like to think that style and like what one wears and how one adorns oneself is important and reflective of potentially what's happening inside. Yeah, I mean, I certainly like to dress and adorn myself according to how I'm feeling, like how I'm feeling that day. How do I want people to see me? I think that can be a way to express oneself artistically and also a way to express one's internal self sometimes. And I think sometimes we think about style as being like shallow or like unimportant, but I think fashion is incredibly artful and creative, and Venus is also a planet about creativity. You might also notice having an aha moment in terms of relationship needs and values, or wanting to try something new in relationships in terms of sex, sexuality, maybe exploring more kinkiness in your sexual life. And then, so the Sun making conjunction with Taurus. The Sun is our conscious awareness. Taurus is peace. The Sun making a conjunction with Jupiter in Taurus. Jupiter is peace, generosity, abundance, opportunity, goodwill. And so this also feels like a day where there's an expansion happening in our minds, in our awareness. There might be a renewed or bigger sense of faith and trust in something larger than ourselves, maybe in God, if that's something that you believe in, or a sort of divinity in the universe, or maybe you find meaning again in something. And this could, Sun coming to conjunction with Jupiter could help us make meaning of the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that happened a couple weeks ago. And so, with the Sun conjoining Jupiter, it's like a continuation of the story of what did you realize or break free from a couple of weeks ago? I can't quite remember the date. I think it was April 20th or like 25th or something, 23rd. So around that time, what was the thing you realized needed to change, or the thing that needed to be let go of, or to like be able to open up into something bigger and more expansive and more freeing? So this is kind of a continuation of that process. But so yeah, Saturday the 18th is a really beautiful day, I would say. A day full of freedom in terms of expressing love and appreciation and finding what's true to you, finding meaning and value. And yeah, once again, a really great day to reflect on what is meaningful and valuable to you. Okay, on the 19th, the Sun makes a quick little sextile to Neptune. You might not even notice this, but this gives us a sense of wonder and inspiration and meaning. Neptune is the planet of dreams and hopes and vision, and that asks us to escape from reality every now and again. So finding healthy ways to do so is always lovely. Then the Sun heads into Gemini on Monday the 20th, and then on Wednesday the 22nd, the Sun immediately makes a trine to Pluto. Trines are supportive aspects. Pluto, once again, a planet about getting to the bottom of something. So on this day, we might have a desire to get to the bottom of something, understand something at its core, and uncover something. Pluto is also power and wealth, and so this aspect can also really connect us to our source, our sense of power. Where do we feel powerful, and how can we utilize our power? And that's a good thing to reflect on as well. Like, where am I powerful? Where am I not powerful? And how can I use my power? Let's see. Also, you might notice like a draw towards intense experiences. Pluto is a planet of intensity, life or death stakes, death and rebirth. And so you might feel drawn to intense experiences for transformation of the self. Pluto renews us, regenerates, transforms. And then on Thursday, the 23rd, we have a full moon in the sign of Sagittarius. Full moons are always moments of culminations, things coming to peaks, something maybe even being revealed. And this full moon in Sagittarius is Jupiter ruled. Jupiter rules the sign of Sagittarius, and so then we look at what's happening with Jupiter. Oh, on the same day, Jupiter is making a conjunction with Venus, or rather I should say Venus is making conjunction with Jupiter because Venus is faster moving. And this is just like beautiful. This is a beautiful aspect. This is a beautiful day. These are the two benefics in astrology, the two planets that bring good luck, good fortune, opportunity, ease, peace, joy, and abundance. And so once again, this day, there might be it just might be filled with those qualities. And you might notice having more access to those high vibe feelings, to those like higher levels of consciousness, one could say. Could also indicate something good happening, something good coming, a sense of inspiration or hope. You might find ease in relationships, in particular because Venus represents relationships. There could be a sense of forgiveness if something's been like tricky or there's been some conflict or something. Also, whatever part of your chart that contains Sagittarius, which is where this full moon is happening, you might notice those themes and topics, something expansive, something beautiful might be happening in that part of your chart, pertaining to the topics of that house in your chart. So it's important to know, like, where is Sagittarius in my chart? What house is that? What are those house topics? So yeah, this is going to be just a really beautiful day in general. And then same day, Thursday the 23rd, after Venus makes that conjunction with Taurus, Venus moves into Gemini and immediately makes a trine to Pluto in Aquarius. And this is happening on Saturday the 28th. Once again, Venus is relationships, Pluto is power, what's beneath the surface of things, what's really going on. So you might have some powerful realizations about your relationships, about your values, about eroticism, around sensuality, sexuality. You might also notice on Saturday the 25th an intense desire for relating, for connection, for pleasure, for like, what does it feel like to like really be connected to someone's soul, to someone's internal self. And you might feel just like a draw towards someone or an attraction towards them. And it's always, I'm always like wondering when I'm attracted to someone, like, why? What is it about that person that feels so alluring? Like what qualities does that person have, or what qualities am I perceiving that they're having that feel so juicy and yummy and delicious? And do I want those qualities in myself? Like, is that why I'm like trying to integrate those qualities? Like, there's all sorts of reasons we're attracted to people, but it's always a good, like, Venus trine Pluto is a good time to investigate, and to follow those crumbs and to not be afraid of deeper connection. So yeah, Venus trine Pluto, intense drive and desire for connection, relating, pleasure, eroticism, for creating beauty, for creating art, creating in general. This is a very generative aspect. Yeah, so that's a really, really nice day. Let's see. I already mentioned supportive energy for understanding the root of your desire and what your values are. Also like thinking about like, how am I doing relationships and do I like it? Is how I'm doing relationships meaningful to me? Does it reflect me? Do I feel seen in my relationships? Also, Venus representing joy, beauty, fun, and pleasure. Like, am I like having fun in life? And if not, why? Like, what's holding me back? Like, what would I like to try? What feels really joyful to me? Am I judging that? Can I lean into that more? These are the kinds of questions one can ask with a Venus trine Pluto. And then on the same day, Saturday the 25th, Jupiter heads into Gemini, which is a huge shift. Jupiter's been in Taurus since May of 2023, and now Jupiter is heading into Gemini. So Jupiter's been in Taurus for a whole year. Jupiter heading to Gemini. Jupiter will be here for a whole year, so until about like May 2025. And this is going to bring expansion, opportunity, and abundance to the part of your chart that contains Gemini. So whatever house that is for you, once again, you're gonna notice over the course of the next year openings, new perspectives that will help you get somewhere better. You might notice healing in the part of your chart that contains Gemini, or learning, wanting to like broaden your mind. And yeah, I'll have more to say about Jupiter and Gemini in future videos, because we'll be dealing with or working with Jupiter and Gemini for the next year. So there's definitely more to say on this, but that is all for this astrological update. Please let me know how this lands for you. I'd love to hear how you relate to the astrology. Please like, subscribe, comment. That helps the channel to grow. Really appreciate it. And I'm available for consultations if that's something you're interested in, and how this astrology is showing up for you in particular, and in your unique chart, because it's going to be different for everyone. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful couple of weeks, and I'll be back soon with another update.